Hello, welcome back to Bayou Time. With us, the youth of this area, and our Gulf Youth Forum. I'd like to start off by introducing our panelists. Our first panelist is Ali Fagu. Our second is Danielle Johnson. And from left to right, we have William Hotard, Andrea Dante, Jacob Hutchison, and Jessica Bort. To answer their questions, we brought in two experts, Mr. Ted Fagu, who is an expert in the oil industry, and Mr. Mike Voisin, who is an expert in the seafood industry. Mr. Fagu, please tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I recently retired as the port director of Port Fourchon for 31 years, served in that capacity. Prior to that, I worked for LSU as a marine biologist, so I have a little experience in the seafood industry as well, but mainly my experience has been over time working, trying to build a port that will accommodate the oil and gas industry, and certainly Fourchon ended up developing into a very successful seaport. After my retired life, I started a small consulting operation, and then came the oil spill, and I've been now contracted to the state to assist them in some of the activities necessary to hopefully mitigate some of the impacts of this spill.
I understand. Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Mike Voisin, please tell us a little about your expertise.
Well, thank you, Vinny, and thanks for having me on tonight with you students. It'll be interesting to hear what your questions are. I'm a seventh-generation oyster farmer here in Terrebonne Parish. I've been involved in the oyster community my whole life. That's my career. We harvest, process, and distribute oysters. But I've been engaged in the seafood community. I'm former chairman of the National Fisheries Institute, involved with the Louisiana Seafood Promotion and Marketing Board, the Oyster Task Force. I've done a lot of things regionally, locally, and nationally, and engaged in the oil spill as a result of all the challenges it presents to the seafood community.
Thank you. And we'd all like to thank you both for being here tonight and for being here to answer our questions. Let's go to our first question with Ali Fagu. Ali.
I'm Ali Fagu, a resident of Thibodaux. I'm concerned about our Gulf Coast because as it's being destroyed, so is our heritage. My first question is for Mr. Fagu. Obviously, some big news today on the moratorium. Mr. Fagu, what are your thoughts today on a federal judge's ruling that blocks the moratorium?
Well, Ali, and I like your last name. Certainly, we had felt that clearly the President's decision and Secretary Salazar's decision to declare a 6-month moratorium really didn't have a lot of science or physics or any basis behind it other than just a general feeling that we needed to take a pause. And Hornbeck Offshore led the initiative by filing suit. A number of companies came in and participated. The state joined in, and clearly I think the message that the judge sent was a reasonable one, and clearly said that the judgment by the president was arbitrary and capricious, is what they say, and that didn't have a lot of basis or justification for 6 months.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Fagu. Our second panelist is Danielle Johnson. Danielle.
Hi, my name is Danielle Johnson. I'm a lifelong resident of Gray, Louisiana, and I'm here tonight to learn how this disaster will affect our homes, our culture, and our economy in the future. Mr. Fagu, based upon your answer to the last question, do you believe the judge's ruling gives oil companies the green light to begin drilling tomorrow?
Well, technically the moratorium does not exist right now, but clearly I don't think oil and gas will jump to mobilizing, going through all of the cost necessary to go ahead and act as if this moratorium never was declared. And they're going to be very cautious. I don't see a huge economic boom starting tomorrow to get everything back out in the operation. I think they're going to since the president has indicated he's going to appeal this action, it's going to be a wait-and-see kind of attitude, I think, for a while. But certainly, I think, it's good to win, and that certainly was a good sign that this happened. But now it goes to a court closer further away from us, not New Orleans, and to D.C., and clearly that I think we may have some more difficulty there convincing, but certainly we're going to work very hard to put a program together that would certainly support the state and our position.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Fago, and thank you, Danielle. Our third panelist is William Hotard. Will?
Hi, my name is William Hotard, and I'm a lifelong resident of Terrebonne Parish. And I'm here because I want to know how the oil spill will affect our youth in the coming future. Mr. Fago, given the pressing nature of the unemployment from the moratorium, what kind of time frame is anticipated for an appeals decision?
Well, clearly we had the judge acted quickly on this injunctive relief proceeding that just went on. But the full appeal, I'm expecting it to go all the way to the Supreme Court. That may take considerable time. That's probably not the best answer to a remedy for this current situation. It's much better to work through this. The governor made, I thought, a very good plea to the president today not to appeal this. Let's try to work these things out. There are quite a few things we could do and keep our rigs in the Gulf without actually going in and drilling into some of the oil-producing strata and the more risky areas. All kinds of preventive actions that could be taken. So we need to see some give and take here, and hopefully the administration will send out a signal that they want to talk some more about opportunities where we can have a win-win situation out of this rather than somebody having to lose and this country losing.
Yeah, definitely. We hope that doesn't happen. Thank you, Mr. Fagan. Our fourth panelist is Andrea Dante. Andrea.
Hi, my name is Andrea Dante, and I'm a lifelong resident of Cutoff, Louisiana. And I'm here today because of my disheartening concern for our coast, America's wetlands, and Louisiana's seafood and oil industries. Mr. Fago, the moratorium, as I recall, was only on the drilling rigs in the Gulf. Shouldn't this moratorium also be implemented on foreign tankers coming into Port Fourchon to empty their oil at the Loop facilities?
Well, that's an interesting question. The moratorium applies to roughly 33 drilling rigs that were in Gulf waters. Only 30 of those were actively drilling. And there's also what's called a de facto moratorium right now on the inshore stuff, where there's about another 40, close to 50 rigs operating. And we have not yet worked out the guidelines to have those rigs back and go through new well drilling operations. So there's a concern about that part too. But there is an issue that some statistics indicate that there's 4 times a greater chance of a tanker having a major oil spill than there is of another blowout. And the moratorium is going to require us to bring in more foreign oil. I don't think we're going to reduce our consumption any, so we're going to have to bring in more tankers into all of the facilities that can receive them. So the risk is actually going to increase for another catastrophic spill by using that method. So there's an argument that can be made on why we're not evaluating tankers as well.